Hey guys, so I will be back with you on Thursday, but in the meantime, we're going to do some review. Last time we had a substitute and you were doing review, I wasn't super stoked about what happened, so I would highly recommend that you do as you're asked. And as a consequence of last time you not, I think, being as productive as possible in class, your classwork is due by the end of the hour. Whatever you have done needs to be turned in. You also have a Khan Academy for homework tonight. So we're just going to review how to graph a line in slope-intercept form. Everything that is written on my paper needs to be written on your paper. So slope-intercept form of a line is y equals mx plus b, where m is your slope and b is your y-intercept. Visually, a y-intercept is just where you cross your y-axis. So here's my x-axis, here's my y-axis, boop. Here's my y-intercept. So it's always going to be where x is equal to 0, because it's right between -1 and 1. And my y value is just going to be whatever the height is here. So we're just going to call it b. It literally doesn't matter. It could be any. My slope, on the other hand, tells me about how to get from one point to another point. So let's draw an example line again. Let's call this point 0, 4, and this point 1, 0. It literally doesn't matter. The slope is directions on how to get from one point to another. Okay? Usually we represent that as change in y over change in x. That little delta just means change. We call it delta because that's just what it's called. That triangle shape is the letter delta in the Greek alphabet, and mathematicians love Greek alphabet because a lot of cool math stuff happened in Greece. I wish I had a cooler answer for you. That's just how it is. Your change in y tells you how much to go up or down to get to the next point, and your change in x tells you how much to go left or right to get to the next point. So here, my change in y, if I went down 4, that's -4 for my change in y. And here, for my change in x, if I went right 1, then that's 1 for my change in x. Notice I made it negative when I went down and positive when I went right. Down from my x-axis, down from my y-axis means negative, up from my y-axis means positive, left from my x-axis means negative, and right from my y-axis means positive. If you're going to forget that, write it down. And you know what? You're a human, so we're going to write it anyway. Left and down are negative, and right and up are positive. The most common mistakes that I see for slope gravitate around this idea of people not paying attention to sign. And sometimes, most of the time, I think they even know these facts, they just don't think about it and they don't pay attention to details. So for this example line right here, if I were to write an equation in slope-intercept form, my slope, I would replace m with -4x plus 1 is my, or I'm sorry, plus 4, because I'm crossing that y-axis at 4. Let's practice graphing a line together. I'm going to do it on the next side. So before we can